Alright, so for this week's make and take, we are making the Huxley bowl filler, which will look something like this. And it is, you can use it as a bowl filler. I am using it as a pin cushion. You can also use these as weights as you're going around a project that needs a little bit of extra weight. You can put it down like that. They're also great for if you're doing treasure hunt for Halloween. These would be a great thing to hide around your house for people to find for a treasure hunt. Each kit will make 6 of these bowl fillers. You can use any stuffing you like. I used, here it is, crushed walnut shells. Easy, very simple to put together, to put in there. You can use stuffing if you want to use stuffing instead. It's completely your choice. And then each kit will also have 12 eyeballs and 6 mouths. So that being said, the first thing you are going to do is you are going to cut out your squares. You don't have to cut out your squares. I'm telling you that right now. What you can do is you can take your fabric, fold it right in half, and you can trace out the pattern just like that. You can have make sure right sides together and trace out your template. You will also need the template, which is on the back of your kit. Now, if you want to cut out your own eyes, you can, and your mouth if you want to make the mouth. We went ahead and had everything pre-cut for you to make life a lot simpler. So I will have 2 eyeballs and a mouth. So what you are going to do is you are going to take your fabric and you are going to trace around the top fabric. Now, like I said, I didn't cut them in half. I didn't cut my fabric. I just folded it. And now I'm going to trace around it. Just like so. Then I'm going to slide my template just a little bit to get my lines in to where my turn is going to be. And I'm going to mark that very clearly on there. Now, yeah, I have enough to make another one. I'm only going to cut away my extra because now I am actually going to pin both layers together. And I'm going to sew on the actual line going around this way. That way, I'm going to make the ghost a little bit wider by doing that versus trying to sew out a cut piece. If you want to sew out a cut piece, I have done that one too. You'll want to just do a scant 1/4 inch around, but I find this is going to be a lot easier. So I'm going to line that up. I'm going to start my stitching. I'm going to back stitch my stitches. Okay. And again, I don't go very fast when I am tracing something because knowing my luck, I will miss the turning part. Now, because I am filling this with crushed walnut shells, I will actually probably go over my stitches again just because of the wear and tear on it. If I leave enough room when I'm cutting around, I can also do a zigzag stitch, because once you cut this, you want to cut about a 1/4 inch away from your seam, from your stitches. But I think this time, because with all the curves, I think I am just going to stitch over my line, just go over all my stitches again. See, I don't go very fast. Making sure I'm going through everything. Go a little bit faster. Okay, and then I will cut away my extra thread. Okay. And again, I'm going to back stitch. Now, I'm going to go the other way. Trying to go back over my lines, my stitches again. Again, I'm going just really slow around this part because there are so many curves. And just keep going back up, and then again I'm going to back stitch to lock my stitches. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut around, give myself about a 1/4 inch going around. A little too close. And just like that, give myself some space. And like I said, because I'm going to put crushed walnut shells, I actually double stitched my stitches to keep everything from falling out. If you are going to put fluff or something else in there, really your choice. But if you're going to make it a pin cushion like me, or a weight for when you're measuring out fabric to keep it from shifting, walnut shells is what I would do. So now I'm going to open up my ghost, and I'm going to push everything through that opening. Bubba, what are you doing? And then if you need to, you can use your stiletto to help you pull it through. Remember, it's not a race on how fast to get it through. Okay. All right, so now everything is inside. I am going to take my stiletto and just kind of poke everything out. Like so. And then what I'm going to do, make sure everything has a nice curve on the top. Make sure my bottoms are out. I'm going to take this to the iron and I'm going to iron down a few of the edges to make sure everything kind of goes flat. Now for the eyeballs, pick at the side that you want it to be the front of your ghost. I'll go iron this one more time. Hold on. Okay. Now that's ironed. So now I'm going to take my eyeballs and my mouth and I'm going to peel the back of the steam or fusible mesh, fusible webbing mesh, whatever you call it. And I'm just gonna play with the eyes a little bit. What's really nice about what we have done for you, if you do it with ours, is we have the fusible fleece already on, not fusible fleece. We have the steam on the back of it. It makes it a little tacky. And if you say you do it like that, oops, not like you meant to do that, you can reposition said eyes until you find where you really like them. You can move them down, you can move them up, however you want to put them. Then, afterwards, you can go to your iron and fuse them on. Now, what's really nice is if your eyeballs or your mouth falls off after you've done everything, grab yourself some fabric glue and you can actually just glue them on there if you want. Okay, so I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my iron, and I have ironed on my eyeballs and my mouth. Now you are going to want to fill your project up with whatever filling you choose. Again, I used crushed walnut shells, and I will show you how I keep from making too big of a mess. You can use a piece of paper, parchment paper, or whatever. You can even use the container that holds your walnut shells in there. But mine is in a different bag right now, and I have to get a new container. So I'm going to open it up. I kind of just play with it to open it up. And then I'm slowly shaking it to start filling it. Whoop. Hence the reason the paper is there. Okay. Keep filling it up. Keep playing with it. Okay. Again, if you can take your stiletto and poke out the feet that want to hide for some reason. I don't know why. They just want to hide. When you start filling them up, it usually helps poke out the feet. Sometimes you have to play with it. There we go. Okay. All right, so now okay. Now I'm going to keep filling up my ghost. Until it is full. Now, if you want to and you want to kind of move everything around to see how much you can get in there, you can use a quilty clip to close the opening to keep your sand, crushed walnut shells from moving around. Okay. Okay. And also, if you have to move around, like I said, the quilty clip works really good to keep your crushed walnut shells that you've already put in the ghost. Okay. Now I am using my water filler from my iron to fill this up. I will rinse it before I use it for my iron again. But I really don't put water in my iron very often, so I found another use for the water cup. Now this is also where you can play with the teal thingy or your stiletto. Move things around to give yourself more room. I tend to like mine a little bit tighter than this, so. Again, I am just clipping it to see how much more I can get in there. And if you want to, you can use a funnel too. I used to have a funnel, but mine disappeared, so I have to use my imagination to get everything in here. Okay. Again, just shake it around until it is as full as you want it to be. I am really almost done here. Let's see. Just a little bit more. I tend to like mine a little bit more on the full side. Okay. Let's see. That might be it. Let's see. See, nope, I can still fit a little bit more. I just have to move it around. Okay. So close. All right, so I think that's where I want it. I think that is good. Yep, okay, so I lied and then I open it and there's like a little bit of space, so. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna set that aside for just a second. I am going to put a quilty clip on it because I do have to set it aside to thread my needle to sew it up, and I really don't want it to spill, even though it's pretty full. Okay, go like that. Okay. All right, now I'm going to do a quick whip stitch to close off my pumpkin, my ghost pumpkin. Haha, not pumpkin, my ghost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm threading my needle with our hummingbird threader as I get it into a knot. Okay. Okay, then I'm just going to pull on it and close it up. And now I'm going to tie it off. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my needle and I am going to do a quick whip stitch along my opening. Okay. If you know how to do a ladder stitch, go right ahead and do a ladder stitch. I have not mastered that yet, so I will not be doing a ladder stitch. But I will do a simple whip stitch. Okay. And what I usually do is I will go down and back, just because I am using crushed walnut shells. I want to make sure that I have enough stitches to keep them from pop open. If you can do a ladder stitch, you won't have to worry about that. So everybody can see. Whoop. Don't include your plate on your sewing machine, which I should put that back on. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go back down again. So just give me 1 second here to make sure everything is locked in place. And like I said, I always do an extra row, especially with the fact that I have put in so much of the crushed walnut shells. Okay. The longest part of this whole thing is actually doing this part. And again, each kit makes 6. And they are super cute. They're very easy to put together. And again, each kit makes 6, easy to put together. A great retreat gifts. Great even for a retreat if you're going to a retreat this summer. Just stick this in your bag and it is a complete kit. Just don't forget your walnut shells. No interfacing needed. Just needle and thread to tie it off. If you make it small enough, you can put it through your sewing machine, or if you know how to do that, you can also put it through your sewing machine. All right, so now that I have done my 2 rows down and back, I'm going to tie it off. So we'll go ahead and tie it off real quick. And snip it away. And again, kind of just shake it around. And voila! You have your own little Huxley Ghost bowl filler, pin cushion, weight for when you're laying out fabrics. There's a bunch of different things you can have. You can just have it hanging out with you on your sewing machine. And that is super cute. You can also use it in your car, just if you want to put them in your car. I know people love Halloween all year round, so this is a great little thing. You can put aromatherapy in it. You can put the essentials oils in here, and you can have it sit in your car, and it can be a car smeller. Sorry, cat's messing with the camera. So that is it. Again, the kit makes 6. You can get your kit online or in store. And I guess that'll be it for this week. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.